evening, everyone. It is 7 p.m., May 24th, 2023, and we're convening a regular meeting of the Cuyahoga Heights Schools Board of Education. We are in the Bonner Ray Media Center. Mr. Muccio, would you call the roll, please?
Mrs. Decker.
Here.
Mrs. Etter.
Here.
Mr. Suchaki.
Here.
Ms. Press.
Here.
Mr. Dobbins.
Here, 5 present, none absent. On behalf of the board, I'd like to welcome all students, staff, parents, and interested community members to tonight's Board of Education meeting. The board values and encourages public comment on education issues. Anyone having an interest in the actions of the board may participate during the public comments portion of this meeting. Please identify yourself on the sign-in sheet that is outside this room. And a copy of the board meeting agenda is available to review on our website. Please silence your cell phones during the meeting. And with that, would you please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So may I have a motion to approve this evening's agenda, please?
So
All right,
moved.
Ms. Etter moves, I'll second. Mr. Evans and Mr. Muccio, are there any changes?
Just one thing,
or
I
additions?
apologize for our location tonight. Channel 19 is in our auditorium this evening doing a town hall meeting on school safety, where they brought people from all over Northeast Ohio. So normally we'd be down in the auditorium a little bit more spread out, but we're working with the TV station, so they say something nice about us. That's it.
Very good, okay. Well, with that, let's move to a roll call vote, please.
You know, I have a small change maybe.
Oh, please.
14J, I'm listed as a parent band helper or aide.
Okay. Pull that off consent agenda?
Yes.
Okay, and we'll consider that separately.
Okay.
We'll have a chance to abstain if we so choose.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
I would like to remove, and I'm sorry I don't have it right in front of me. I apologize. In the treasurer's business, I would like to table, I think is the right term. Trying to find it. Or did it change? I don't see it.
It has been,
It has been taken.
Yes,
Okay,
it
it
has
was
been
taken out. It was not on the most recent, I did not look at
correct. Okay. So you have no changes,
I have
proposed
nothing, no.
changes? And aside from Ms. Deckers, are there any other changes to the agenda this evening? If not, let's move to a roll call vote then.
Mrs. Etter.
Aye.
Mr. Dobbins.
Aye?
Mrs. Decker.
Aye.
Mr. Suchaki.
Aye.
Ms. Press.
Motion passes 5-0. We are moving on to agenda item number 3, staff spotlight, and I turn the program over to Mr. Evans.
Thank you. Our staff spotlight. I'm asking for a motion to approve the staff spotlight resolution for May 24th of 2023.
Great. So may I have a motion to approve this month's staff spotlight individual, employee?
So moved.
Okay, that was a close one. Ms. Decker first and Ms. Cross seconds. Is there any discussion?
I'm going to present the resolution here. Bev Didio was last month's staff spotlight, and she is nominated secretary to the Assistant Superintendent, Mrs. Megan Schwab, to be the staff spotlight recipient for the month of May. The resolution reads, whereas the Cuyahoga Heights School District has been fortunate to have dedicated staff committed to the mission of the district, and whereas Megan Schwab is simply the epitome of a kind person, and whereas Mrs. Schwab takes her job as secretary to the Assistant Superintendent so seriously and works intently to ensure that things run smoothly for Mr. Young, and whereas Mrs. Schwab is always looking for ways to work smarter, to streamline processes here at Heights in an effort to make our schools run more efficiently, and whereas Mrs. Schwab is an avid listener and makes people feel as though whatever they have to say is important, and whereas Mrs. Schwab's work is impeccable, she seems to think of everything and rarely makes errors, but if she were to, she would own it, and whereas Mrs. Schwab has outstanding problem-solving skills and is a substantial asset to the Cuyahoga Heights schools, and therefore be it resolved that the Cuyahoga Heights Board of Education congratulates Megan Schwab on her May 24th, 2023 selection to the Cuyahoga Heights Schools Staff Spotlight. I ask for the approval.
Great. Congratulations. And yes, we can move to a roll call vote. I think we have a motion on the table. It's been seconded. Can we move to a roll call vote, please?
Mrs. Decker.
Aye.
Ms. Press.
Aye.
Mrs. Etter.
Aye.
Mr. Suchaki.
Aye.
Mr. Dobbins.
Aye, the motion passes 5-0. Congratulations, Mr. Schwab, and thank you for your service.
Mr. Young, I don't know if you wanted to add anything in, since
Well, I'm still employed after 3 years, so. Megan shows up every day with a servant mindset to help make this school district the best place it can be, to the point where she
on to agenda item number 4, presentations. Mr. Evans again.
And we're going to start with the elementary. Mr. Kiefer is going to present our Students of the Month for the elementary building. Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Jay Kiefer, the principal of the elementary school at this time, and I'd like to honor 2 students from our kindergarten program. Mrs. Rex is here, Dr. Lucanville sends his regrets. He has his daughter's own open house at their school, so that's where he is tonight. So I'm going to start with Dr. Luganville's student, Evelyn Leahy. Come on up here. Come right over here and stand in front of the board here, right here next to me, sweetie. Remember we practiced this, you were a star. Okay, right over here. Okay, now look at mom and dad. I had such a great time interviewing this girl. Evelyn is from Valley View. She lives in the Castle House. I think those of you who live in Valley View know what the Castle House is. We had our 5th grade picnic at Valley View Woods last week, and that's the first time I've ever been to that park. And I started teaching here 40 years ago, and I never knew it was back there. And it was like, wow. And I'm pulling out of the park, and I went, that's the Castle House right there. You can see it. It does look like a castle. So we looked it up online, and yes, that is a castle. And she lives with Dad and sees Mom at her apartment, I take it. I think that's what she shared with me. She has a dog named Roxy, and one sister. Nope, why did I write sister? Rocky's sister. Okay. It's been like 2 weeks since we did this. I'm like, why did I write sister? Okay. And a fish named Fred. Is he your brother? I don't know. Brother. Okay. All right, there we go. Her favorite subject in school is reading. She loves to tap out sounds. Those of you who have smaller kids know what A, apple, means. And B, bat, ball, ba. Miss Rex, teach me. Okay. And learning how to read in kindergarten. Her favorite essentials, or we call them specials, happens to be gym because she loves running a lot. Outside of school, she tells me she goes to the Nest on Wednesdays. Okay, those of you who don't know that, it's a school and daycare right next to McDonald's in Edmonds, I believe. Okay, when she grows up, she wants to be a school counselor like Mom. Can always use good school counselors.
Oh, nice.
And she plans to go to college. And her message to her parents, she would like to say to you tonight, thank you for watching all her performances. And if Dr. Luganville was here, he would say this. If Evelyn were a show on Netflix, her descriptive words would be imaginative, caring, and social. This year in kindergarten, Evie has consistently improved both socially and academically. She has developed trusting relationships with friends in class, while also helping out friends in need. She has a playful personality and even recognizes and appreciates sarcasm. That's why we had a really great time. When activities get challenging, she is able to seek help from her peers and teachers. Her calm demeanor, insightful answers, and funny stories make our kindergarten class a better place. Her effort and attitude put her on an exceptional trajectory at Cuyahoga Heights. Keep improving, knucklehead. Is that what he calls you? I'll have to talk to that Dr. Luganville. Okay. Can I shake your hand? Congratulations on being student of the month. You represent us well for kindergarten. There you go. That's your folder to take home with certificates. You want to smile for the camera? Smile. There's 2 of them in there, so let me take one out. There. Okay, let me hold this one. You hold that one up for Mom.
Sideways.
You want to take one for Dr. Luganville? Okay. It's for Dr. Luganville. Put this one in there too, okay? That one's for me, and the other one's for Dr. Luganville. All right, I'll fill it on.
Perfect.
Our second student of the month from kindergarten, from Mrs. Rex's class. Come on down, buddy. Cody Kalashevsky. also from Valley View. He lives with mom, dad, Casey, who is a second grader in our building. He has a pet named Vinny, a cat. And his favorite subject in school, he tells me, is math. He likes to plus things up, he says. His favorite essentials or specials, once again, is gym, amped up parties, and basketball. And I know he's quite the wrestler, so I could see how gym would be his specialty. And outside of school, we talked a little bit about wrestling, plays kickball, rides his dirt bike, and baseball. And he's missing practice tonight, but that's okay. When he grows up, he's not sure what he wants to be yet. And college, he wants to do something, not sure of his options though, so we'll have to teach him about some of those options when he gets to middle school. And a message for his mom, who's here tonight, Dad's coaching, is thank you for signing me up for sports. And Mrs. Rex is here tonight. This is what she has to say about her buddy, Cody. Cody is an absolute delight to have in the kindergarten classroom. He arrives every day to school with a huge smile, show him that smile, on his face, ready to learn. Cody is hardworking and pushes himself to do his best. Cody is a leader in the classroom, on the playground, and on the wrestling mat. Cody is kind, caring, always willing to offer a helping hand. I'm excited to see the big things he will do in the remainder of the school year and into first grade. Keep us the fantastic work, Cody. We're also proud of your accomplishments at CHES. Congratulations, my friend. So this is certificate. Mom will go over with you and one for your teacher. Okay, here, Mom wants to take a picture, so let's do it this way. All right, hold it like that. Right, just like in wrestling. You know.
Do you want a picture with him?
There you are.
I know.
Do you mind? Thank you.
Okay, she'll do it.
And to all the parents and the students of the month, when we're done, we've got the backdrop out here, so we can step out and take as many pictures as we want from the backdrop. We'd like to get all students of the month with the board members together, and then you can take as many family pictures as you want out there.
You both have the same smile.
Here, let's put that in this one. Thank you.
Good job, Cody.
Pinch hitting for Mr. DeTrey tonight, he's down and working with Channel 19 right now, is Mr. Young. And he did this for several years, so he got the rust off today and was ready to do the students of the
I'm a
month.
little nervous about this, Mr. Evans. All right. It's my proud honor to recognize our middle school and high school students of the month. We will start with sixth grade, Nakaya McGinnis. I have Nakaya's mother as Ronnie Adkins and father John McGinnis. You live in Brooklyn Heights, correct? And this is your first year in the district. It's going up pretty well? Yeah, it's nice. Here we go. All right. Nakaya was new this year and immediately stood out in the band. She had a flute under her belt from her old school, and she didn't skip a beat. I like that phrasing there by your teacher. Starting fresh here at CHMS during the year, the teacher says she's always been impressed by Nakaya's maturity, quiet and steady leadership, and growth on her instrument. She is capable of focusing on hard tasks in ways that are very difficult at her age, and it results in her being one of the go-to leaders in the band. So I told you I was going to ask you some questions. Gianna, you weren't here, or Georgia, you weren't here today, so I'll be asking you the same thing. Okay, I didn't see you. Just to prepare you. What's your favorite class, favorite subject? Math. Okay, math with Mrs. Wilson this year. That went really well. Fantastic. How about activities, hobbies? What do you like to do outside of music? Paint. That's great. Got that artistic side going, but you got the mathematics to go with it. It makes you pretty well-rounded. That's amazing. How about your future plans? Where do you see yourself? You're only 6 years from graduation from high school, so what are you going to do with yourself?
See myself in college for a medical.
Awesome. What's your favorite thing? It's your... What's your favorite thing about Cuyahoga Heights this year?
I like how the students are very welcoming.
It's good to hear.
I like how the teachers are nice too.
Awesome. You brought a lot of fans here tonight. Your whole fan club's here. Do you have anything you'd like to say to them?
Thank you guys for coming.
It's great. It's great to have your family to come here and support you, and I'm sure they are a huge part of why you're hugely successful as a sixth grader, almost a seventh grader. Congratulations to Nakai McGinnis.
Nice.
All right, seventh grade, Chaz, check. Mother is Vanessa Stepsky, and father Joseph Check. Lives in Walton Hills. This is your third year at Cuyahoga Heights, correct? He's the seventh grade's nomination for Student of the Month. Chaz has strived to make improvements in all of his classes over the last couple of weeks. He is putting in the time and the effort, and it hasn't gone unnoticed. He is making choices that help him continue to succeed. Keep up the great work, Chaz, and finish your seventh grade year strong. We are so proud of you in seventh grade. Same questions. What's your favorite subject or your favorite class in the middle school?
I do science.
Science? Who do you have this year for science?
Miss Draper.
Miss Stryker, fantastic. You get her again in eighth grade, so that's a good thing. All right, how about your activities, hobbies? What do you like to do for fun?
I'm going to do football.
Great. That's all right. Mr. Martin will take all the football players he can get starting early. Future plans. What do you want to do? Where do you see yourself after you're done at Cuyahoga Heights in 5 years? That's great. That's fantastic. We need more workers, especially people who are passionate about what they do. What's your favorite part about CHS?
I like how nice everybody is around and the teachers are always caring.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Great to hear. Have anything you want to say to your family? Hi. How you doing? You don't have to say anything. Take me out to McDonald's afterwards or ice cream. Ice cream. All right, Chaz, congratulations. Here's your certificate. Okay, our eighth grade student of the month is Chance Apathy. He cannot be here tonight. Son of Mandy and Blaine Apathy, lives in Brooklyn Heights, says 10 years. That means he's a pre-K-er. He's been here a while, right from the beginning. He's the nomination from the eighth grade team. He comes to class daily, positive attitude, and is always willing to help others. They're very excited from what he's going to accomplish once he goes to high school. He said his favorite subject was social studies with Mr. Tartera. Activities, he loves basketball in school, wants to do he does baseball as part of a travel team. So what do you want to do with your future? He says, I want to play college baseball. I want to go to the Ohio State University or LSU or Tennessee. And he wants to coach. Yeah, you should have just stopped at the Ohio State University. Mr. Evans' alma mater. He wants to be a coach when he grows up. And what he likes most, he loves his teachers. He says they're great. So congratulations to Chance. We'll get the certificate to him in school tomorrow. Our ninth grade student of the month is Samantha Valley, who is also not here tonight. She is at the regional track meet, I believe, which is tonight.
Which is where Chance is. His brother's running tonight, so.
It's his brother's running. So they're down in Norwayne. Norwayne is nowhere near here. When they say in the middle of nowhere, that's where Creston is. So, yeah. Sam, she actually had two nominees, so I kind of combined them together because it was literally a novel long. She's diligent, she's hardworking, student who often explores concepts and materials past the expectations. She always goes above and beyond. She cares about her involvement in academic sports and as a class officer. She's a secretary, always doing her best. Sam is flexible and willing to offer, I'm reading the long version. She's willing to offer her time to see class activities all the way through to the end. The other individual said that Sam is very well-rounded. She's a dual athlete. She's in a marching band, student council as well. Further, she uses her artistic talents to adorn a classroom door for school-wide decoration. She's enrolled in College Credit Plus classes takes her studies seriously. I like that she is spunky but polite to her teachers. She's trustworthy. She's always willing to share her time and give help when needed. So congratulations to Samantha Valley. She's an excellent example and well-rounded student here at Kaga Heights in the 9th grade, soon to be 10th grade. So we'll get that to her. All right, 10th grade, Aaron Decca, come on up. Aaron's mother is Jennifer. Wave, Jennifer. There you go. Fantastic. Dad Sean, is it okay to say Dad Sean? Is that okay? Yeah, Dad Sean. They live in Valley View, 12th year. Also put you in pre-K, right? Okay. About Aaron Decca, this is what the person said. It says, I have had the pleasure of having Aaron Decca 2 years in a row. She is a driven and dedicated student. Her growth in AP European history, do we know who wrote this now? Okay. Mr. Kosevich, needs to be acknowledged. AP Euro students have the opportunity to retake any assessment in the growth and provide additional opportunities to prove what they know. Erin is one of my students that has taken every opportunity to grow this year. I'm incredibly proud of her grit and tenacity in mastering the skills and content in that college level class. Lastly, she is a kind individual that builds up those around her and is a positive force in class and in Model UN. All right, so what's your favorite subject? AP European history? Yeah, okay, that's a good choice.
Good answer.
Fantastic. What do you do here at school? What do you do outside of school? Why, you were a little bit late here tonight. Why?
I teach some lessons, so I have a class.
Yes. It's great to teach others. What do you do here at Kaga Heights?
I'm a swim team. I'm on volleyball team. I'm in a lot of clubs. Like I'm model event officer. I'm vice president, student council, president of weekly, secretary, friend club,
First ring student leadership member.
Yeah.
Marching band.
Yeah, it's kind of a theme here as you hear some of our older students here is, yeah, you have the ability to get involved here. If you don't get involved at Kaga Heights, because we don't cut, we take every kid in every activity, and if you don't get involved, it's a choice not to get involved. And she and the others are great examples of what you can be and what you can be part of. What are your future plans after school? It's not that much longer. You got a couple years left here.
I want to go to college and either become a marine biologist or an exobiologist.
An exobiologist. What is that?
It's like the study of life on like planets and space.
There you go. I was thinking exoskeleton, like insects, but that wouldn't be right. Oh, beyond. That's amazing. You're going to work for, you might work for Bezos someday. There you go. What's the favorite thing about CHS? It's fantastic. That's a common theme. Yeah, it's great. They really do take an interest in every single kid. You can't get missed here at Kaga Heights, can you? No, we're in your business. Fantastic. Congratulations, Aaron. Well deserved. There you go.
Oh, come on.
All right, our junior, Sophia Winslow, come on up. I was joking today because she plays basketball, and Mr. Martin called and said, "What time's the board meeting? We have a workout tonight." And you know exactly what time she can go home because we got some important stuff to do. So Sophia's joined with mother, Maria. Okay, Father Christopher Winslow, live in Brooklyn Heights, been here for 3.5 years. Sophia is a force to contend with. That word force must come from the same individual because he used it for Ms. Decca there. She's an embodiment of Kaga Heights' mission statement of students reaching new heights. She has pushed herself academically with various advanced placement and college credit plus courses, athletically with numerous sports she participates in, and the extracurriculars that she's part of. She will be a state officer, so state level, the entire state of Ohio. She's a state officer for the Ohio Leadership Institute's Model UN Conference, and she won Outstanding Witness at the district and regional level mock trial competition.
Wow.
Lastly, she organized a clothing drive for Ukrainians suffering from the aggression overseas. What is your favorite subject, favorite class? AP Lang, that's AP Language, English on steroids. You got me beat there for sure. Activities, all right, so I know you do basketball. Sounds like you do Model UN, you do mock trial. What else do you do? College Credit Plus classes. So she could take courses, that and advanced placement, and together, students can earn college credit while in high school that can knock off 1 to 2 years of credit and tuition money. What are your future plans? Where do you see yourself?
I really want to go to Ohio State and double major in Russian and international business, and to hopefully get immigration lawyer.
There you
Oh, my
go.
God.
That's pretty amazing. Wow. You guys never cease to amaze me. What about CHS? What's your favorite thing?
Good teachers, you tell like they genuinely want you to succeed and like they're passionate about what they do.
What more can I say? You guys say it best. Congratulations, Sophia. You're doing excellent work, and really look forward to seeing how your senior year goes.
Thank you.
Wow, she's impressive.
So glad Georgia showed up. It's the seniors' last week. They graduate here in just a few short days, and they've been doing a senior project, and they're enjoying their last days as Cuyahoga Heights students. Not that anybody's counting the days. That was an eye roll for everybody out there listening. So Georgia Barnes is here with Mother Joelle and Father Eric Barnes. Lives in Cuyahoga Heights. This is your 6th year. I remember when you came here. I think I do. I remember your first year. I was principal here. Over the last several years, Gia has shown tremendous growth, both academically and personally. As a sophomore, Gia really questioned her ability to achieve at a high academic level, yet over the last 2 years, she has grown to realize that she can achieve anything that she puts her mind to, and has taken on the academic challenges of multiple advanced placement classes. This year alone, she is taking, or took, successfully, 4 advanced placement classes, including government, advanced placement research, psychology, and English literature. She also has shown tremendous leadership as a member of the cheerleading squad and continuing to advocate for issues that are important to her. Personally, Gia has overcome many internal barriers and is now in a position to continue to achieve tremendous things once she graduates from Cuyahoga Heights. And this has been done through perseverance, determination, and bravery. She will be leaving us as a mature young woman, and it will be exciting to see what it is she will accomplish next in her life. Oh my gosh, yep, it's good right here. Okay. So what was, as you're looking back, all the years, what was your favorite?
Be more specific.
So I'm kind of interested in what the answer is. What was your favorite class, your favorite subject, your favorite experience? What was the best? What are you going to remember?
This year especially, I got to take a lot of classes that not only challenged me, but kind of got me more interested in my future and like what I plan to do. I took French this year. It was the first year we offered it, and I always wanted to take that class, so I really enjoyed that. And AP Research was definitely probably my favorite class because I got to do advanced research about a lot of things that I really care about, which actually prepared me a lot more for what I'm going to study in college.
Yeah, AP Research is a unique class because students get to pick a topic, something that they believe in, and they go out and they research it, they present it, they have to put together a presentation, submit it. It's really a great class to teach you about what academics is going to be like at the next level. Hobbies and activities, what did you do while you were here?
Well, like you said, I was a cheerleader,
Yeah.
but outside of that, I did dance, and I was involved a lot musically in school. I did choir all 4 years on Scarlet Angels. I did musicals at the school.
I remember you were quite the singer when you were younger, when I was principal here.
I still am, just not
You were so talented. You're so talented.
Thank you.
Yeah. How about where are you going to go? Future plans?
I'm going to Baldwin Wallace Music Conservatory to study music production and industry.
Fantastic. My son goes to Baldwin Wallace University. It's fantastic, and we have a lot of grads here at Cuyahoga Heights from Baldwin Wallace.
Good.
What was your favorite thing as you look back? Let's not say that. You already said that. What's your message? What's your message to the young students out here? Like a final departing. This is the last thing I'm going to say. Drop the mic. I'm done. When you're a performer, you can improv.
I personally, I was a COVID freshman, so I finished my freshman year in COVID. Sophomore year, I wasn't really in school, so I got the opportunity to kind of improve you are and what you're most comfortable about yourself. Step outside of your comfort zone and take your weaknesses and become stronger in them, so you're a well-rounded person.
Bring a tear to my eye because that's a message I think I could live by myself. So, congratulations, good luck. We've been blessed to have you. There you go.
Congratulations.
I just wanted to chime in a little bit about the seniors, and you know, Mrs. Garrett's here. She was a principal and superintendent before I was when I got here. I've been here 12 years, and they talk about senioritis. I want to tell you, parents, that this class of seniors worked right to the very end. And Mrs. Garrett can testify in 2010, 11, I think that group shut down about February. But Laura had to give them the talk. But what exemplifies that is I got 2 phone calls, or a phone call and an email. The problem was at Stillwater at the zoo. And the people from the zoo sent us an email and said that our students were the most polite group that they've ever had in to their facility, students, adults, whatever. And that's a testimony of the students. And they just had their senior cookout down at Klima the other day, and the driver of the food truck called and said, I can't believe how well-behaved, how well-managed your students are. Every kid said please and thank you. And those are things that come from home, quite honestly. So parents, thank you that we benefit from here. But that's a tribute to this group of seniors, and they're going to be missed.
Very good. Good to hear.
Now we're going to take a little break, and I think in the letters you got for the students of the month, I think there was something there that said you should take your students out for ice cream afterwards. I think that was it. But Aaron's buying? All right, Aaron. But if you parents, you can. We got the backdrop out here. We'd like you to all the students to line up with the Board of Education and get a picture, and then parents, you can take all the pictures that you want. So we'll take a little break right now.
Oh, man, and I forgot, I should have worn red and black.
Did you send me a text?
Well, you know, did I show up? Yes,
Okay.
You and I discussed. It's all going to be covered the same. Yeah, well, yeah. So we're gonna, someone's supposed to go.
No, I told him today because Jen was just saying that her daughter called her last night and she got out and says, "Mr. you never interviewed me for student of the month." So then I called her down today and I said, "Okay, I'm going to interview you for student of the month tonight." And they're like, "Wait, what?" I said, "Oh no, I'm putting you on the spot."
Let Mark get out just so we get his picture
Yeah, I know,
taken.
he's going to get his picture taken.
You ever have a root canal?
Yeah, a lot. Did you get it done?
Afterward.
If it's the right dentist, if they're good anymore.
It's the one I didn't.
Initially, my guy was terrible, and I'm like have sensitive. But then, like my new doctor, don't feel a thing. When it unnumbs, it's business as usual. The new Novocaine like wears off like really quick. It's like I remember when they first, because they give you 3 or 4 shots of them. It's like man, you're like numb to like 9 o'clock at night. And afterwards, the new Novocaine, like an hour outside the office, it's worn off.
My husband is very close to his
Yeah.
My husband's like BFFs with him. He's text all day. No, my husband's from Northern. I don't really remember how I got, Matt and Deanne graduated with my brother. So I knew that connection.
Dean's Greenhouse, that was good.
Yeah, I Wasn't that last year or something? Well, and here's the thing, like, my brother sells to them, so like, so they don't wanna get my brother mad at them, essentially. But kids run it now, when Larry, when the father ran it, it was easy, the kid doesn't, and he turns everything over to his girlfriend, doesn't know anything about plants. So like, anytime we get home, I've got Scott's phone number, I just text Scott, I said, Scott, you know, plants, I'm gonna come pick them up, you know? So, I wanna give, I was gonna go, I went on Saturday, my wife, Gilly died, we went Saturday, but by the time we got there, they were like swamped with customers, and I didn't wanna bug them, because that was a big sales day for them. So, they just got it all done at once. They said they're gonna email the bill, blast the bill over, so. That was Anthony's class.
Yeah, those rubble rousers. They were too connected.
Well, and you know what? It was so funny because they were so ornery then, but then they did so well in baseball that they knew that they had to kind of toe the line.
Yeah.
Because baseball, they made it to state, didn't they?
They knew what states they went to
Regionals. They were in the regionals, so so they had to kind of like toe the line
I
the last
know.
couple of weeks. And well, there was one of the relay teams placed in the state. So some of the kids on the track team were good. Had to be good too.
I'm gonna have to check. I
Yeah.
swore I'd sent that. In fact, I know I did.
Those
Yeah.
kids, way back
Okay, I
when.
think the girls might
Wasn't
have
there.
went on
That's
these
why when you
boys
asked me, the last email I got, yeah.
You have to
I
go
got a
back
message
and
from
look.
you. It was,
I think half
okay.
the class, their first name
agreed,
started
that was
with
the
A.
message.
Yeah.
There were so many A's in that
It was
class.
last night at
It
10:30.
was like the
I
parents
didn't-
couldn't get
oh, you know
past
what
any
you
letter
said this
that-
morning, I did not.
They're having a
get them
baby,
this
they're just
morning.
gonna name them
You
A.
did. Yeah,
Like all those,
that's,
like
it was
there
this
were,
morning
there were
after
like
the
three
dust was finally
Allisons,
starting
there
to
was,
settle.
Oh,
you know,
that's right,
Anna,
yeah.
Because
Amy.
they don't mark, they don't
Anthony,
timestamp every message.
Oh, no.
I don't know, there were just, it seemed like everyone's name was A.
Oh, there were two girls in that class that was before online computer for makeup. Caitlin Lahotsky and Allie Malik or something. That like had to have credit to graduate, had to like pass like, and we brought Stan and Dick Sealong in to get them through this math class and social studies class at the end of the year. And Lahotsky was like, wouldn't come to school. I'd call her mom, I'd beg her mom, I said, I'll come pick her up for crying out loud. She's gotta get her graduated for crying.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh no, never. I said, Mrs. Lahotsky, I'll cut a deal with you right now. It was like 2 weeks to go. I said, she had like 1 unit to get done.
Yeah.
And we had to have it mailed in. You had to have it mailed by a certain date, but you had to have the grades back so you knew that she got the credit.
Man.
You're right, 2 names. Yep, and there was that, they call it the Harry Potter, it was this office off of the
Oh,
old
okay.
gym.
Perfect.
It used to be the phys ed office.
Oh, yeah, sure,
That's
go
where they did the one-on-one in there, so it was like this, almost like this little dungeon area where they had to go.
You can have a water. We can give a water to the student of the month.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told her, if she'd have said her favorite thing about Cuyahoga Heights is Mr. Evans, ice cream would have been on me. But she didn't mention it, so, yeah.
Well, I turned to Stephanie and said, never once did they ever say school board.
She could have said her
What's
parents.
the best,
Those
what's
are
the
the ones
best
we gotta
part?
be worried about.
What's the best part of Cuyahoga Heights? School board. Yeah. That's okay. It's better that we ride under the radar. I'm getting cold. Are you guys getting cold? Okay.
Is everyone ready to go? Okay, so we'll reconvene. Just for the record, it's 7:40, and we don't have any comments from the public this evening, so we're going to move right on to agenda item number 6, Treasurer's Business. Mr. Muccio.
Thank you, Mr. Dobbins. I'm asking for approval of items 6A, 7A through 7H, consent agenda for tonight.
Okay, so may I have a motion to approve the Treasurer's consent agenda, please?
So moved.
Mr. Chaki moves, I'll second. Mr. Muccio, any discussion?
Yeah, I just wanted to highlight a few items in the agenda. 7A is, as always, our financial reports that we have when we close every month. Item 7C, purchase orders over 5,000. Everybody's able to open the attachment, which is 7.4. And I have to apologize if I sound a little muffled tonight. I'm having a root canal done tomorrow at the toothache. So.
No.
Yeah. What's wrong? The Purchase orders over 5,000, just wanted to go through those. Number one, Sweetwater Sound, those are wireless microphone system to add on to the elementary school, that's $5,035 of the general fund. Item two, Star Camp, that's extended school year camp for summer 2023, $5,000 from the general fund. Dean's Greenhouse, that's for the class of 2024 junior class plant sale fundraiser, $13,000 out of the class of 2024's account. Number four, Neonet, 150 Chromebooks and management licenses for staff, that's $42,450, and that's out of our permanent improvement technology fund. Item five, College Board, that's for advanced placement testing for the 22-23 school year, approximately 190 exams, $18,224 out of the general fund. Two more. Number six, DNR Carpet Service. This is for carpet replacement at the elementary school pod area due to the flood damage that occurred a number of months ago. 100% is paid for by insurance minus our $1,000 deductible. That amount is $76,965.76 out of the general fund. But again, it's paid for by insurance, picked up, less our deductible, $1,000. And number seven would be various workers' expenses at our district track meet that we had a couple days ago, not to exceed $15,000. All expenses for that would be reimbursed by OHSAA. That's out of the fiscal 23 track district meets account that we have. So those are the purchase orders over 5,000. 7D, the donations. I just wanted to publicly thank both of the donations we have tonight. And we have from two entities, 3 donations. The first one is from Stacy Manahan for Joe Kokat Fellowship Scholarship, and that's in the amount of $500. We want to thank Stacy, as well as the CHS football team and athletic boosters for both the Michael Wright Scholarship and Larry Rogers Scholarships. That's $100 and $250 for that. We thank them very much for those. Item 7E is the May 2023 5-year forecast. We presented the forecast during our previous board meeting, which was May 3rd. The forecast tonight has, for approval, has no changes or edits made, so it's the exact same forecast that we have in place. 7F would be appropriations. First one is to align the general fund to the May 5-year forecast expenses. So we're increasing it by approximately $700,000. And number 2 is an increase of $5,000 to Fund 022, which is our district agency fund, and that's due to more participation in the district track meet that we had. Item 7G is the renewal agreement that we have with Power for Schools, and that's our electric utility provider. The agreement which they negotiated for all schools that are a member of that consortium with Ohio Schools Council has gone up, but that's the case with a lot of expenses that we see at this point right now. And those are the highlights from those items.
Okay, very good. Well, we have a motion on the table, so if there's no further discussion or comment, we can move to a vote. Did we already make a motion? Seconded? Yes, so we just need to do a roll call vote.
Yep, Mr. Suchaki.
Aye.
Mr. Downs?
Aye.
Mrs. Decker?
Aye.
Mrs. Etter?
Aye.
Ms. Prowse?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. We are moving now to Treasurer's Business. Mr. Muccio.
Yep, item 9A, which is the levy. So I will read that. So this is a resolution of necessity, the question of levying an additional current operating expense and permanent improvement tax in excess of the 10 mil limitation pursuant to section 5705.217 of the revised code. So a resolution of necessity for the question of levying an additional current operating expense and permanent improvement tax in excess of the 10 mil limitation pursuant to section 5705.217 of the revised code. Whereas the Board of Education, Cuyahoga Heights Local School District, finds that the amount of taxes which may be raised within the 10 mil limitation will be insufficient to provide an adequate amount of revenue for the necessary requirements of the school district, and that it is necessary to levy a tax in excess of that limitation for the purpose of current operating expenses and permanent improvements. And whereas, in accordance with revised code section 5705.03-B, in order to submit a question of a tax levy pursuant to revised code 5705.217, this Board of Education must request that the Cuyahoga County Fiscal Officer / Auditor certify the amounts described in Division B2 of Revised Code 5705.03, and whereas in accordance with Revised Code 5705.03, Section B, upon receipt of a certified copy of a resolution of this Board of Education declaring the necessity of the tax, the auditor is to certify the aforementioned information to this Board of Education. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Education of the Cuyahoga Heights Local School District, with not less than 2/3 of its members concurring, Section 1, this Board of Education declares that it is necessary to levy on the entire territory of the school district for a continuing period of time an additional 8 mil ad valorem property tax outside of the 10 mil limitation for the purpose of providing funds for current operating expenses and for general permanent improvements, of which 7 mils is allocated to current operating expenses and 1 mil is allocated to general permanent improvements, and that it intends to submit the question of that additional tax levy to the entire territory of the school district at an election on November 7, 2023, as authorized by Section 575.217 of the revised code. If approved by the electors, said tax levy shall first be placed on the 2023 tax list and duplicate for post-collection in calendar year 2024. Section 2, the Board of Education declares that the school district only has territory in Cuyahoga County, and that pursuant to Section 575.03 of the Ohio Revised Code, the auditor is hereby requested to certify to this Board of Education the amounts described in Division B, Section 2 of Revised Code 575.03, and the treasurer of this Board of Education, B, and is hereby directed to certify forthwith a copy of this resolution to the auditor at the earliest possible time, so that the auditor may certify such matters in accordance with such Section 575.03, Section 3, that it is found and determined that all formal actions of this Board of Education concerning and relating to the adoption of this resolution were adopted in an open meeting of this Board of Education, and that all deliberations of this Board of Education and of any of its committees that resulted in such formal action were in meetings open to the public in compliance with all legal requirements, including Section 121.22 of the Ohio Revised Code and the rules of this Board of Education adopted in accordance therewith. Section 4, the resolution shall be in full force and effect from and immediately upon its adoption.
We're going to make a motion to approve that language, is that right? So, is there, I would make a motion to approve that ballot language as Mr. Muccio read. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Souchaki seconds. Is there any further discussion?
Mr. Dobbins, I've got Mrs. Garrett and members of the BEST committee that kind of helped work with us on some of these numbers here present tonight, and I didn't know if the board had any questions from them. I know board members were at some of those BEST meetings as well, or Mrs. Garrett, if you had anything to kind of add into this. And we thank some of the members of the BEST committee for coming tonight. A lot of discussions about building and wants and needs and those types of things that have taken for a lot of hard work by Mr. Muccio. I don't know if you had anything you wanted to add or not, Laura.
Well, I think, the two-prong levy would include the funds that district stands to lose, in addition to maintaining the programs that are here with additional funds to keep the school operating, and then looking forward to the permanent improvement. But I don't think we can miss letting the voters know what we may actually be losing, all public schools in Ohio.
Thank you.
And this is for forever? There's no time on
Continuing,
this?
yes.
Okay.
All of our money is continuing on our monies.
Right.
Okay. And is there any other comments? As a board member and a resident, I very much appreciate everyone's participation in the BEST committee and the finance committee that's led to this event this evening. And I thank you very much for your input and your guidance to help us get to this point. So thank you.
Those BEST members that were around know that we started this discussion in 2016, Lisa? Maybe even before then, yeah. And had worked ourselves up to almost being ready, and then COVID kind of kicked us in the rear, and it really threw a monkey wrench in a lot of numbers, and we had to go back and revisit some things. So I just want to thank the BEST committee for their patience and perseverance through this process, and that's been critical to us getting some answers that we need, and also giving us some guidance and moving forward as well.
Again, well, thank you to everyone. With that, should we move to a roll call vote then?
Mr. Dobbins.
Aye.
Mr. Sajaki.
Aye.
Mrs. Deco.
Aye.
Mrs. Etter.
Aye.
Ms. Kraus.
Aye.
The motion passes 5-0.
And just two other items for discussion. The first one is just fiscal year-end items by the Cuyahoga County Budget Commission. So this is a standard letter that they send out every year. So they ask for us to have on or before Friday, July 14th. They have 2022 on here, but it's 2023. All final revisions, revenues, and appropriations for fiscal year 2023, beginning unencumbered fund balances and revisions to fiscal '24 estimated revenue, and temporary or annual appropriation measures for fiscal '24. So we'll be ready with all those as we do every year. And 10B, this is an interesting one. So at our February 23rd, 2022 board meeting, so over a year and a half ago approximately, we approved an agreement with the Ohio Schools Council and Yankel and Associates to conduct an electric utility bills audit for the purpose to determine whether there were overcharges. If the district receives a refund from the utility, refunds will be distributed as follows: 50% paid to the district, and then the other 50% split, 30 and 20, payable to Yankel and Associates who did the audit, and Ohio Schools Council, which is the consortium through it. So we did get our results back from that. If I click on that attachment, if everybody's able to open that. We had on that very first page, there's 3 pages there, a letter from them that said they're happy to let us know that our district will be credited a total of $5,146.99. So we received half of that. So my question to Ohio Schools Council was, well, how exactly did they find it, what was wrong, and what do we have to fix going forward? Because I wanted to know the specifics. Well, this is the answer I got back, which didn't make a lot of sense to me, but I'll read it out loud. So this is from Ohio Schools Council, and they go, what a night to read everything. I have to go through it. That works. So they go, hi, Matt. Well, we know every district is curious as to why and how they were misbilled from First Energy. Our consultant provided the following statement of his process and findings. And this is the consultant speaking. I cannot readily identify the source or magnitude of the specific errors and corrections needed. I started to develop a computer program to identify errors in First Energy billings. The program got too much for my skills, so I hired someone to develop the program I wanted. We went through multiple iterations over the last 5 years. The program is now such that I cannot even run it. The programmer must do it. He runs the critique of First Energy's bills and gives me a printout. The printout gives me errors for specific bills. I forward with this information to First Energy. Generally, First Energy accepts about 95% of my adjustments. For the other 5%, I need to go back and try to recreate what the program did. If First Energy is correct, I try to have the programmer change the program for future use. My program only deals with billing determinants. I have no dollar data associated with my program. It was too much work. Once First Energy and I agree on the corrected billing determinants, they calculate the dollar impact of the corrections. I have spot checked these dollar refunds in the past and am satisfied with their accuracy. The program looks for usage trends and calculates changes that may be appropriate. About half of the bills with errors were estimated bills and half were actual readings. Overall, my program found 1.5% error in First Energy's billings. It should be noted my program only addresses corrections that would be in favor of the customer. I am aware of errors that go the other way, and I assume First Energy is aware as well. First Energy and I have never addressed these negative adjustments. I hope this explanation works for you. So it's not the greatest explanation on how it all works.
Do they do personal bills? Because I would love to have them run there.
So with that explanation, I don't really have, a lot to go on from that, but from the audit that we joined with a lot of other schools, with the Ohio Schools Council, we see a credit of approximately $2,000 some coming back to the district.
And this is how many,
5-year period, what was that?
yeah, how long, how many of our bills did they
I don't remember off the top of my head how long it was. I'd have to
And how often are we eligible to have our stuff audited?
The thought is that they fix it going forward, so we wouldn't have to go back. So I think First Energy is gonna take his programming findings and implement that in, so we would never have to go back. But
It'd be nice to check it, like after 6 months or something, and just say like.
yeah, I'll follow up with Ohio Schools Council just to see kind of where all wanted to kind of explain the results of what we had passed, over a year ago.
The original letter says we have to provide 2 consecutive months of electricity bills.
Yes.
So that
Yeah.
much money just in 2 months.
Yeah, but I'm not sure how his program works. That's the weird,
Not the only-
Yeah.
I don't think he knows. So this extra money will just go back to paying future electric bills, I'm assuming?
Took it off our electric bill, correct. It was actually on our most recent one, so we already
Oh.
recognized the $2,000 credit. So they just lowered whatever we would have paid by $2,000.
Well, okay then.
Are we gonna keep doing this every year?
If they offer it, Ohio Schools Council, so this was offered by them, which we joined. So if they offer it again, and, this carries on, but as far as, what I could understand, I believe that, these changes would be, carried forward by First American. What they found, but maybe not.
We've been with OSC for a while, and a week doesn't go by that, I know Mr. Muccio is the same, that I don't get an email from somebody telling me that they can save us money on our electric bills. And about 3 or 4 years ago, we had a family, one of the family students, a family member, mom that was and I said I trust her, and I said, can you take a look at what we're doing with OSC, and they were one of the better rate companies, and she goes, Tom, there's nobody out there that can touch what that group rate is doing
That's
for
what
you.
you can get.
She goes, we'd love to have your business, but we can't come close to what the prices that you're getting through OSC. And that was a while ago, but periodically, just this year, we're looking at insurance, just to kind of poke the bear a little bit to make sure that we're getting the best deal out there.
We're in contact with Ohio Schools Council on a regular basis, every month, every other month that we're talking with people from there. So, we'll keep in touch with this. If they have another, electric utility bill audit, that they need to, have us join, we're in it.
And of course, I don't understand the methodology that was all through here, but it, I don't know, begs the question to ask, are we being overcharged in our other utilities?
Possible.
Who knows?
Who knows, right?
Mm.
That's my thing.
I'll control my tongue. That's all I'm gonna say at this point.
Thank you, Mr. Muccio. Thank you. So moving forward then, on agenda item number 11, superintendent's business. Mr. Evans?
General, item A, approve MOU between Chat and the District's Board of Education regarding adding club advisor positions to the current agreement. B, approval of the class of 2023 graduates. C, approval of Juneteenth, June 19th as an official paid holiday for 11th and 12-month employees. D, approve the updated 23-24 student fees list. E, approve the updated 23-24 miscellaneous pay rate schedule. F, approve all Chat staff, ESC instructional staff, and Chase instructional staff to be approved as intervention team assistant members as needed for 23-24. 12A, approve superintendent's request for membership in the Alliance for High Quality Education for 23-24. B, approve one addition to the non-public transportation request list for 22-23. C, approve the agreement between Stoller Enterprises and Cuyahoga Heights Elementary School for the purpose of fundraising. D, approve PSI service change form. E, approve agreement with Monarch Center for Autism for extended school year services for summer of 2023. F, approve agreement with LearnWell to provide educational services for students admitted to a medical facility. G, approve agreement with Ohio Department of Education Office of Child Nutrition for participation in Ohio USDA Child Nutrition programs. H, approve agreement with Fuel Management Consulting. I, approve College Credit Plus Memorandum of Understanding with Cuyahoga Community College for 23-24. J, approve per diem contract for Jay Kiefer as interim elementary principal for up to 10 days, the month of June. 13A, accept the resignation of Ray Mervar as a bus driver. 14, approve employment of EMIS coordinator for 23-24. B, approve reemployment of Logan Diedrich as information technology intern through summer of 23. C, approve extended time for guidance counselors and athletic director for 23-24. D, approve supplemental Chat contracts for 23-24. E, approve supplemental position miscellaneous pay rate contracts for 23-24. F, approve supplemental positions transportation contracts for 23-24. G, approve supplemental positions summer transportation contracts for 23. H, approve reemployment of certified staff for 23-24. I, approve Tommy Wilson as a volunteer percussion advisor for 23-24. J, approve volunteer parent band, that's off the consent agenda. K, approve reemployment of classified staff for 23-24 for the, as updated today. I ask that those items be approved.
Great. So, may I have a motion to approve the fairly lengthy superintendent's consent agenda, please?
So moved.
Ms. Stecker moves. I'll second. Mr. Evans, discussion, please.
Just, you know, here I thought I was being a genius, but last time we negotiated to pull some of the supplemental contracts out of the contract that we weren't filling, and then we hire Mr. Kosovich, who's outstanding with Model UN and mock trial, and so now we add him. I should have just left him in and just not filled him like we've done with other supplementals. So, lesson learned by Mr. Evans on the supplemental contract. So, the Recoup is a new club, a very active club, but the other clubs were existing clubs that we had here before that we're bringing back into the fold there.
What's the Recoup Club?
Recycling.
That's what I thought, okay.
They doing wonderful,
Good.
amazing things. Graduates approval. Juneteenth, I asked for that approval. This is until we pass a board policy. And I've got the model policy. Mr. Young and I are going to take a look at that. But once that policy is passed, then we will work on that with the negotiated agreement. But right now, this kind of covers us. And John Brenton tells us we can honor the holiday then with this resolution. Student fees, very few changes there. Miscellaneous pay rate schedule, a couple small adds there. We're bringing on Logan Diedrich for an extended year. Logan's been an outstanding intern. The hopes is that when Logan gets his degree, that we'll be able to add him as a full-time staff member. Quite honestly, he does a tremendous job for us. And then the chat and the ESC instructional staff, that's for if any of them are involved in instructional intervention assistant team, then we don't have to bring them to the board to get approved, so they get paid this way. This is kind of a blanket approval for any of them that are on an as-needed basis. So, the Alliance for High Quality Education, this group has been instrumental in advocating for us. They were really the group pushing to raise the per pupil funding, to actually double that amount, to go to OFC. So this is kind of the one group that we're attached to that really looks out for some of our needs individually. They've made some headway, and Tony Podeshel does a great job with that as that executive directorship. The non-transportation list, Stoller Enterprises was a fundraising elementary. PSI, that was just a change in some of the nursing services. That was a short-term. Monarch, one student will be in extended care this summer. I think we're going to be, we have 3 students that actually graduate or move out of our off-site placements, and next year we're scheduled to have just 1 student being educated off-site. LearnWell, we had 2 students that were in hospital, and this LearnWell provided education services for them while they were there. It was less than 18 hours of work on their part. ODE for the child nutrition, Mrs. Mead checks that off. That just allows us to buy it at that group. I know Mrs. Edery had a question, and Mrs. Mead said, no, that's generally the way they fill it out. They kind of leave that open-ended so we can actually participate in almost anything they have, but that's a kind of an open-ended agreement, so we can buy.
Check it off, though?
No, she said that's the way that's been done in the past, so.
Okay.
Fuel management consulting, that's our prices for fuel management. College credit memorandum with Tri-C, per diem contract for Mr. Kiefer. Mr. Kiefer is going to get some training so he can do teacher evaluations next year, and his contract was up May 31st, so this kind of gets him through the last 2 days next week, and then gives him some days in June to get some training, some OTES training, and we'll see where we have to go from there. Ray Mervars, Ray retired and then came back to retired from his regular job, and then it kind of was looking for something to do and came on, and for 10 years has been an outstanding bus driver for us. Ray's always got a smile on his face, and Ray just said I think there's some grandkids out of state that I think they want to be able to go see a little bit more frequently, so we thank Ray for all of his service to the district. EMIS coordinator, that's critical to our state reporting. Kathy Dietzel does that for us. Logan's on there. Extended time for the counselors and for the athletic director, that's for summer activities because their contract ends next week. Supplemental positions for, you guys have seen the spreadsheets and those are ongoing. We try and fill as many of those positions now, but that's kind of a running total thing that you folks have seen before, as well as the supplemental positions for transportation, summer transportation, the certified staff. Mr. Dobbins, I apologize. Did you want this pulled off? Do you want to discuss this in executive session? This is just teachers that would be a single-year contract renewal, or those teachers that would be moving to a 10-year contract, continuing contract.
We have an executive session scheduled for the 121.22G, which
Yes.
covers employment and evaluation, so I think we could roll that into that.
Okay, so I'm gonna pull H off then, and
Okay.
and I will say that then there may be a vote after we come out of executive session.
Sure.
Tommy Wilson, help the band, we pull J off, so Jen doesn't have to vote for herself. And classified staff, their contracts, and then with the new contract alignment laws in the state, you see on the spreadsheet where they're at in a 1 year or a 2 year or 2 year or 2 year as we move forward to a continuing contract with them. So kind of complicated. Mrs. Deal and Mr. Young have created a nice little system to track those things though, so we're in pretty good shape with that.
Very good. Well, if there's no other comments or changes or additions to this, well, let's move to a roll call vote.
Mrs. Decker?
Aye.
Mr. Dobbins?
Aye.
Mrs. Etter?
Aye.
Mr. Chouwaki?
Aye.
Ms. Prince?
Motion passes 5-0. Mr. Evans, we're going to consider item 14J, is that right?
Yes,
We'll do that separately?
Yes.
correct? Do you want to?
I ask for approval of 14J. Motion to approve the following volunteer Band-Aids for 23-20, Band-Aids, it sounds like we're putting Band-Aids. The 23-24 contingent upon successful completion BCI FBI background checks, if applicable, Jolene Podel, Jennifer Giussani, Jen Deca, and Lisa Ross.
Okay. So may I have a motion to approve item 14J, please?
So moved.
Okay, I'll second. Any further discussion? If none, let's move to a vote.
Mr. Chouwaki?
Aye.
Mr. Dobbins?
Aye.
Mrs. Decker?
I'm gonna abstain.
Mrs. Etter?
Aye.
Ms. Prince?
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0 with one abstention. Thank you.
Congratulations on getting approved and not get paid to help the band.
Yeah.
Lisa wasn't listening.
She's
I
like,
said congratulations on being approved and not get paid to help the band.
What are you talking about?
I just want to be there when she gets fingerprinted. Keep it clean. General comments, again, the seniors have been fantastic. Going to be a tough group to watch go away. A pretty large group by our standards at 80, I think 85 students this year. So they really, and they've kept their noses to it all the way through. I know we got a group down at regional track right now, but really a fun group of kids that, again, like I said, the people at the zoo couldn't say enough nice things about our kids. And then also to get that call from the food truck yesterday was just really nice. So I think that's a good way for them to go out. And, I think we saw in the news, Streetsboro had to close down for a day because the senior prank got a little carried away. And our kids are so good at, they came in and asked me about the senior prank. They want to sleep out on the front, I don't know if you saw it on Facebook or not, but they wanted to sleep, they're going to camp out on the front yard of the school, and they were worried about Frank, that takes care of the grounds, because everything's so meticulous, and then they want to put some stuff up in the building. So we kind of gave them the go-ahead and the green light on that. I was really going to get them because I was going to turn the sprinklers on about 4:30 in the morning to see, but the sprinklers hadn't been charged up. But they were there. They got things cleaned up, and they did a really nice job of it afterwards, and they had a little bit of fun with it. So nice that they can do something like that, and no vandalism or anything broken along the way. So thank you to the seniors. Legislation. My head's spinning right now. The budget bill's in the Senate right now, so I don't know I haven't heard anything, and I don't usually know news is bad news from Columbus, so that bothers me a little bit. I know HB 183 was just proposed yesterday, and that includes we had some parents, we had concerns with the transgender and the use. This is about kind of rescinding a little bit of what's been done, and only biological males can use male restrooms, male locker rooms, and so that's I'm keeping an eye on that. But that's a House bill right now, and I haven't heard from the legislative groups what kind of steam that has. But our legislative online got canceled last week because districts are so busy right now trying. This is a tough time for school districts with so much on the state budget bill and people trying to get kids graduated from school. This is a really, really tough time to kind of gather superintendents and I thank the board members and community members that have made phone calls and sent emails. I got a nice response from Senator Dolan on the email that I sent him that you folks saw. That, so hopefully that, you know, that some of those provisions have made it to the governor's desk twice before, and the governor line item vetoed them. So we're hopeful that they get to the governor's desk and the governor sees fit to sign that line item veto this time around. So that would almost double our per pupil expenditure, which isn't a ton of money, but, you know, that's 1,400 versus 800 per student is better. So, which would be my estimation, maybe the first positive financial news that we've gotten from the state legislature since House Bill, in 1978 passed. So you know, take it when you can get it. So, thank you.
Okay, so we can move on to agenda item 17, board policy review. Those are up for second reading, is that right?
Second reading in policy 7540, technology use update, 7540.01, technology update, technology privacy, 7540.02, technology update, web accessibility, content, apps, and service, 7540.03, update on acceptable use and safety, 7540.04, technology update on staff technology acceptable use and safety, and F, 8300, continual use of organizational operations plan, G, 8503, technology update, information security, H, 8513, technology update, information management, and 9701, advertising commercial activities. I asked for approval of those. And I think we need to approve these quickly because they may change next week with the way the technology's changing. So this is the way technology's changing. I know that, I hate to say it, that I think one of the policies that we passed less than 2 months ago, we'll probably have to revisit this summer because of some changes that are taking place. So it's just, it's an ongoing, never-ending system.
Share the information you gathered from you and Mr. Hagadish's joint collaboration on the safety presentation. That is a huge technology component to
Yep.
it that may spark some thoughts about readdressing some of these policies
Yeah.
in the future, based on just the safety concerns that the kids are exposed to at such a young age with some of the social media, whether we should be permitting that in our schools. Just carte blanche for everybody, or if we should put restrictions, so. And hopefully you got to play around with ChatGPT and some of the other AI in time, so you can see what that can do and how that may come back around as well. As Evan says, this isn't the last time.
I can assure you that before the end of September, we'll have a policy in front of us that deals with AI and some of the use of it. So they're just kind of kicking around, figuring out what they want to write and how they want to write it right now in Columbus, so.
Well, I did notice that one of the policies, 754004, has what appears to be maybe, it's arguably a reasonable carve-out for appropriate and inappropriate uses of AI, and is it NLP? I don't know, natural language processing. That was very interesting to read how those things are defined, and then how the policy goes to say what is a permitted use and what's a not permitted use. And I think it was a fairly reasonable attempt to try and to put people on notice that it's not carte blanche. At least that's how I read it. But as you indicate, it's going to change, or likely will change.
Putting their finger in the dike with that one, that's that's gonna.
So should we consider a separate motion then for everything under agenda item 17? Would that be your suggestion?
Correct, yes.
Okay. So may I have a motion then to approve items 17A through I, please?
So moved.
Okay, I'll second. I think we've had a lot of discussion. Is there any discussion or comments on this? If not, we can move to a roll call vote.
Mr. Souchaki?
Aye.
Mr. Evans?
Aye.
Mrs. Decker?
Aye.
Mrs. Etter?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. We're on to item 18, and this would be a motion to approve the superintendent's attendance at the GCSSA luncheon in Independence on June 6, 2023, at a cost of $35. May I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Is Ms. Decker seconds? Tom, do you have anything to add to that?
No, this is just where all the retirees come back and rub our nose in the fact that we're still working.
Wouldn't want you to miss that.
I get to pay for that.
Okay.
Thanks, Laura, for not coming.
Okay, so let's move to a roll call vote then.
Mr. Evans?
Aye.
Mrs. Decker?
Aye.
Mrs. Etter?
Aye.
Mr.
Motion passes 5-0. We're on to item number 19. We disapprove the board's business, I apologize. Item 20. Put it out to the board members. Are there any items that you'd like to discuss this evening, committee reports, et cetera? Anything?
Couple of things on the Career Center. They had recognition night. That's not the right term, but I can't remember the what we called it. Anyhow, because nobody graduates in the Career Center, graduating from their home district. So, but one of the first things that went on there was a recognition of distinguished alumni, and one of those distinguished alumni is Dan Hunter, who graduated from Kaga Heights in 2003, and he's part of the heating and air conditioning program, along with Matt Scheffler. So we're pretty well taken over that program here. So he was recognized. It was probably the largest group of students that were recognized for excellence. And it could be even better going forward. 550 people have signed up as potential juniors for next year. That is probably a 20% increase, just off the top of my head, based on what's there. So there are courses that are closed out that have been running at 40 or 50 or 60%. All of a sudden, they're 100%. So the word is getting out that career centers do have a significant impact, and if it's appropriate, that's the right place to go. So, in addition to that, we passed a 5-year forecast, just as we did here tonight. The comments on that are increased revenue, smaller increase in expenses, and some deficit spending because we're out of the general revenue. We're doing all that remodeling, so that's causing some deficit spending. But overall, over the 5 years, the numbers are up. And then we also approved Power for Schools at our meeting. The same thing we just did. Yeah, same thing as we did here. So I think that was all. Yeah, that's all I had.
Okay. Any other discussion, committee comments, reports? If not,
I just wanted to say that excited and so impressed at our senior awards night the other night, and the fact that it appeared to me that there were, as always, so many opportunities and scholarships and money available to our seniors. But this year it seemed especially that it was really spread out. There wasn't like just one student that got all of the awards, for example. And I was impressed by that. And we just have some really outstanding students here, and very proud of that.
agree. Some very generous donors in the community, very generous.
Very much.
So if there's nothing else, we can move to agenda item 21, which is future agenda items. The only thing I would note is that we as a board have discussed joining the lawsuit that's pending against the voucher program in Ohio. And we've decided we had kind of verbally agreed to table that until July. That probably seemed to be a prudent measure because I believe the auditor of state sent out a request for all districts to say what public monies have been dedicated to this effort.
Apparently that was at the request of a legislator, and the auditor didn't mention what legislator or what group, but that's what he cited and we obviously haven't been a part of that, but it was simply a one-question survey. Have we used public funds to participate in any lawsuits against the state of Ohio and the charters? So the answer was no, and sent it back.
Okay, great. Well, I believe that that's still going to be a live agenda item for this board, and I think we've been waiting to see what happens with the current voucher legislation as well as the current budget bill. So we'll see what happens and maybe reconsider that matter in July. Moving on to agenda item 22, it should be noted the Board of Education members received their agendas several days prior to the actual meeting. Thus, they've had considerable opportunity to study and ask questions, etc. And upcoming regular meetings, Monday, June 5th, 2023, is a work session at 6 p.m. Wednesday, June 21 at 7 p.m. is a regular meeting. Wednesday, July 19th, 2023 at 7 p.m. And then we're moving into August 9th, work session, 6 p.m. And I believe somewhere in there we're talking about scheduling a special meeting for around July 10th. Am I right, Mr. Muccio? Okay. We will update that as it happens. Okay, with that, I will move to, I will make a motion that the board adjourn to executive session pursuant to ORC Section 121.22G1 to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official. May I have a second, please?
Second.
Mr. Souchaki seconds. No discussion, so let's move to a roll call, please.
Mr. Evans?
Aye.
Mr. Souchaki?
Aye.
Mrs. Stecca?
Aye.
Mrs. Etter?
Aye.
Ms. Brown?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. It's 8:21, and we are in executive session, and we should expect action to be taken after after we reconvene. Thank you.
anything close here so I
Okay.
back on it, do I?
We good? Good, okay. So it is 9:54 PM. We are reconvening from executive session. Mr. Mucci, would you call the roll, please?
Mrs. Decker?
Here.
Mrs. Etter?
Here.
Mr. Chapman?
Here.
Ms. Kraus?
Here.
Mr. Dunn?
Here, 5 present, none absent. With that, I'd like to circle back to, is it item 14H on the agenda? Mr. Evans, you wanted to make a motion? Or-
You have a motion to approve the reemployment of certified staff per attached list for the 23-24 school year per the adopted salary schedule.
Okay, so I'd like to make that motion to approve item 14H of the agenda. Could I have a second, please?
Second.
Mr. Chaki seconds. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, let's move to a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Dobbins?
Aye.
Mr. Chaki?
Aye.
Mrs. Decker?
Aye.
Mrs. Etter?
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. I now would make a motion to adjourn the meeting. It is, well, could I have a second, please?
Second.
A second by Ms. Decker, or I'm sorry, by Ms. Etter. I apologize, it's getting late. So let's move to a roll call, please.
Mr. Dobbins?
Aye.
Mrs. Etter?
Aye.
Mrs. Decker?
Aye.
Mr. Chaki?
Aye.
Aye.
The motion passes 5-0. It's 9:55. We're adjourned. Thank you.
And the people, the tourists that are